Pan just gave us.
Guys.
What other
Kobold.
information do you guys ask of Fingernails, who is the chattiest of the three, on your trip back? So they had gone out a good day's march or so to get to their hunting grounds.
I don't ask her anything. I can't speak.
That's
Wendy asks what her name means, and then explains that her name is the pattern which is formed as wind blows over the sand.
She pulls off one of her heavy fur gloves that she's wearing, and you can see underneath, where most orcs would just have regular fingernails, it looks like she has bird's talons. They look incredibly hard and incredibly sharp. And then wordlessly, she just replaces the glove.
That seems useful.
She tells you that she prefers her sword and rests her hand on the hilt of her curved ornamental blade.
Wendy nods at that.
So, which way does it get to Wizard's Folly?
They tell you that it's a considerable distance to the north, that you would travel through the valley where they were hunting. There's a great lake in the basin of the valley that is frozen this time of year, so you will not have to travel around it. You can actually travel across it.
Okay.
On the other side of the lake, you will have to ensure that you're not caught by any of the patrolmen in the area. If you continue north for 2 or 3 days, good weather permitting, you'll know when you've entered into the Great Glimmer's domain, and you'll know when you're close to Wizard's Folly.
Okay.
Have I got this situation right? Is the Great Glimmer at war with the Ice King?
Are you trying to puzzle this out, or are you asking her?
Adrex will be asking her.
She says she's not aware of any such war, that it was negotiated many years ago that the Ice King's children and denizens were not welcome in these lands, this close to the Great Glimmer's domicile. She says that she has heard, as a rumor, that the Ice King is forbidden from sending any issue of his within 10 miles of the cliff face.
That's going to be a problem for me, boy.
Birdie.
She tells you it'll only be a problem for you if you were one of the Ice King's issue.
Well, I'm not.
But
I'm
most
sure they
people
don't know that.
Seem to assume that Adrex is working for this Ice King.
God, I
But
haven't
we'll just
seen
have to
him
talk our way past them then. If that's the case. If it comes to it.
All right. This is what Birdie does. He says, He puts both his hands up, and then he makes a hand axe gesture, and then he makes a painting motion on Adrex. Because remember, hand axe wasn't actually a black dragonborn. We just paint Adrex, right?
You want Adrex to wear blackface?
Oh my god.
I think
That's
it would
what
make
I'm
more
hearing.
sense. It would make more sense to disguise Adrex as a silver. 'Cause then you can still use your breath weapon.
Also, please, Adrex, we already made that joke.
Wow.
I don't know. I'm done playing D&D today. I'll see you guys next week.
All right. Thanks for coming.
Don't forget of your servers.
Everybody just derailed.
So is it therefore a quiet journey the rest of the way?
No, Wendy will be peppering her with questions. I mean, we're paying
Yeah,
for
I'm
them.
trying to.
Nodal the player, can't think of any.
Why?
I mean, part of it is I'm trying to figure out what Adrex know and what is Adrex.
What
As
Adrex would
opposed
know?
to, yeah, as opposed to what just Matt the player remembers.
You probably would not be aware of any forbiddance of going to the cliff face, but from what you recall, there would be no reason to travel to the cliff anyway. Like, that's not a region that anybody has any particular care for. It's very barren. The winds get incredibly harsh. There's no way to settle there. There's no treasure. There's no peoples to subjugate. It's just a long drop. As far as the Great Glimmer, you probably would not have heard of him before, unless you had gone unless you'd been in this area around Wizard's Folly, which I think we've established you haven't.
You know, Adrex definitely hasn't. Maybe I'll just wear a sign that says "Not a subject of the Ice King." That'll work, right?
Sounds like something someone who's a subject of the Ice King would say.
I mean,
Incognito spy of Ice King.
When you arrive back to the mines, Nedrick stokes the fire and gets it going and begins setting to work, butchering one of the carcasses. He has a great boar carcass, which the first thing he does is put slashes along the side of the thing's head and neck so he can break the tusks and work them out, sets them aside. They also have a string of small game, squirrels and hares and large rodents and things, and also a nice big room of fish that they've managed to catch. And he sets to work butchering and cooking the meat and separating the fur from the muscle. 2 of these squirrels he just throws to Grixnart without preparing them or butchering them at all. And Grixnart takes them and kind of tucks them up under his fur and walks into the mine. He's the first one to enter. Fingernails kind of hunches down as she's getting warm by the fire as it leaps into existence.
Birdie looks at the hide of the meat, and he looks at Adrex, and he walks over and he starts slapping Adrex in the shoulder, and then he points at the thing and points at the wings, and he starts patting his chest. And he's like mouths the words armor. Get you some. Like, I'm telling him, see if we can't. They got spare hides.
Yeah.
To make Adrex some medium hide armor.
I mean, there's a reasonably good smith here. We could maybe get what's the high-end medium armor?
I don't know, breastplate. Oh, half plate is the highest.
Half plate's not medium armor though, surely. I can't imagine any plate armor is medium.
No, half plate is medium.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, half plate is the ultimate medium armor.
Like the ultimate in medium armor.
But like breastplates are the ones that like is the highest you can get with no disadvantage to your stealth.
Oh, sure, that's always been important. Adrex.
So, as Fingernail's warming herself by the fire, and as Nedrick sets to work butchering some of this meat, she regards Adrex again and says, "It's time to see that coin now."
Oh yeah, all right.
Birdie will pull out his pouch and just hand it to Adrex.
7,000 mephits. From it.
Yeah, that's
My pouch has the least amount of gold in it. That's why I'm handing it.
And they don't want this stuff. You guys don't want this, right? And Adrex pulls out a platinum piece. You want this stuff. Adrex pulls out a gold piece.
She tells you that the platinum is more valuable by far. And she
Oh,
seems a little
okay.
like taken aback that you as a Southling don't already understand this.
Okay.
We thought
Just
maybe
said
that-
gold.
We thought maybe their gold aesthetic made it more valuable because we've been in a place that preferred silver.
And she tells you
Yes.
that there's no chance that neither she nor the Great Glimmer will mistake platinum for silver.
So it all spends.
If
is
you
what
guys
I'm
were
hearing
looking to
here.
get one over on my backwoods
No.
hunter types,
You don't have to be so suspicious, Bricker.
Yes, Adrex was trying to be full of guile.
I mean, while all of this is going on, Red is just gonna pull a pouch, sift around in it for a minute, and hand over a bag with 500 gold pieces in it. Like, this should get you started.
I could see Adrex coming back and be like, I totally screwed them, guys. I gave them all this platinum and told them it was silver. You hand him a pouch with 500 gold?
Yeah.
Enough gold to buy a small city.
I know Wendy took some coins from the Black Dragon's hoard.
Oh, I dropped that shit.
You didn't?
Back there. I was just trying to get, like,
Okay.
the thing to chase after me.
Did Red take any coins from the
No.
from the Black Dragon's hoard? Okay.
We have enough treasure.
Yeah.
She takes the bag and she weighs it in her hand, and she seems very impressed because she's holding the bag that Red handed her, and she sees that Birdie and Adrex also have bags.
Ross is also gathering up her own pouch, which she's got some coin, quite a bit of coin in it. I don't know exactly how much, but
She hands the pouch over to Nedrick. So what's in this bag? Just 500 gold coins?
As long as there are no gold in the fits, yeah.
She hands the pouch over to Nedrick, who kind of reaches in with one of his claws, and he pulls out handfuls of coins, and he's kind of running them between his fingers. She says, hunting, what did you say? Mephits? Very profitable business in the south.
That and some light piracy.
Birdie holds up like 2 fingers, like just a little bit.
Adrex hands over a pouch of 200 gold and 20 platinum.
Well, she doesn't need any more gold. You gave her 500.
Excellent, even better. I am screwing her over, haha.
She tells you that this amount of gold is far more valuable than any of the meat or furs they've brought back, and they're willing to give you whatever you think you need to travel overland. They tell you the rest of your gold may do you well once you get to the borders of the Great Glimmer's domain.
So one other question, though. We did peek into your living space, assuming you're up here at the top of this mine on our way out when trying to escape from the dragon. It looked like you had a sufficient workshop to maybe build some armor.
At this, you see fingernails kind of sit up and bristle. She says, if you're speaking of my forge, it was behind a locked and trapped door.
We thought maybe it belonged to the dragon, and we were already on bad meanings with it. So
Yeah, I apologize for the intrusion. We were mostly looking for a way out.
And she looks none too happy. But Nedrick gives her this calming look and just kind of throws the pouch up and down, lets the tinkle of the coins inside speak for him, and it seems to calm her down a little bit.
So again, apologies for the intrusion, but we would happily pay you market rate for a suit of armor if you could make one for Adrex here. He's sort of outgrown his previous.
And Adrex just flaps his wings innocently.
Making
Yeah,
half
this happened. Does that ever happen to you? You just randomly grow a pair of wings?
So first thing, let's do this. Go ahead and everybody fill back up on provisions, your trail rations and stuff, salted meats and things that you can make from the fish and boar that you've brought back, as well as winter furs that you could wear going into the north.
I thought we had winter clothing from going up to that monastery.
I think you did at one point, but I've assumed that you guys haven't been wearing it because down south you were well into late spring.
Oh, I lost a set of extra clothing at some point.
yeah.
Doesn't...
In any case, you have the furs and boots that you need now.
I'm assuming Birdie has that hat.
Yes, the hat's never coming off.
That's a good hat. I'm going to have to look up how long it's going to take to make a suit of half plate.
$20.
You wish.
And Birdie, if we're going to be spending some time here, we need to get looking at this spellstone of Raised Dead.
20 minutes or less, or your armor is free.
How much did trail rations weigh? You have it on hand?
That's in the PhD, which I don't have in front of me. I've got
2
example
pounds.
files right now.
Thanks.
All right, let's see here. What is the gold piece value of a suit of half plate?
750.
750.
I was just honestly saying he should get some hide armor or something, but that's awesome.
That's for cowards. Hide armor.
15 work weeks to complete a suit of half plate.
I think hide armor is what Birdie uses.
And also you would have to provide materials and probably more gold for the labor, because you can't... I mean, you gave her 500 gold, but if this armor is worth 750...
Yeah, I offered to pay her market rate.
And she probably doesn't have the metal to do it.
How long does it take? Would it take to make hide armor? Because that's better than nothing, right?
How much is... What's the gold piece value of hide armor?
If you want to do better than nothing, how about scale mail, which is only 50 gold?
That's
you go.
1 work week if you can provide the scales.
There's a dragon right down there. A couple of those arrows probably popped one free.
Scale mail you can make out of probably... You could probably cannibalize some of the iron from the track to make enough scales to do a decent suit of scale mail. But yeah, that's about a week of work.
Did we just throw your old armor down the garbage while we were underground?
I think we might have.
I think he did.
Yeah, I think that's what Adrex does, yes.
Adrex just left it behind.
He ceremoniously lost it in a lake.
She tells you that Gedwinax, the Black Dragon, is forbidden to come up out of the mines. He knows that if he shows his face in the sunlit world above, that the Great Glimmer would finish him. And above all else, he's terrified of the Great Glimmer. In ages past, the Great Glimmer came and humbled the dragon, took away his wings, one of his eyes, and the bulk of his hoard, left him just enough, not that she's ever seen it personally, but just enough coin and jewel below to make the dragon feel like it's worth guarding with his life, his sad and paltry hoard. This has been the state of this situation as far back as anybody can remember.
The Great Glimmer did that.
She nods.
Oh boy.
She says I could. Sorry.
Go ahead.
I could offer to make her a poison special for that trap when she rearms in recompense for disarming it in the first place.
She asks you... Well, she first declines the offer and says that she has a small portion left for her own use.
Okay.
Are we going to be here for a week while she makes Adrex some scale armor?
I mean, I feel like if we're here for a week, we can fill up our hit dice. We can do
Oh,
a
yeah,
bit of light.
that sounds like a
light
really
herb
good idea.
crafting.
As long as you guys don't want to go down and pick on the Black Dragon again.
No, I think we're fine.
So are there any like big stalactites up on the top of the ceiling? Because I've been thinking like we've got acid, and that dragon's not that bright.
We can drop that rock on the second floor that's not actually there on him.
Neither Fingernails nor Nedrick know the original use of the mine or what was mined here. Over the course of the time you spend, you learn that there's not much else valuable here. There's no ore veins that anybody knows about. The mine itself has been picked pretty clean. They do seem to have some knowledge of what's beneath the mine, what it links up to in the caverns below.
So let us just tell you, like, in case the dragon ever does die, don't go below there anyway. Just let it be.
It's bad news.
Adrex. And probably Raazu.
Yes, sir.
A lot of your job throughout the week in order to get enough metal to make this armor, she's having you essentially cannibalize what little is left of this iron track. So you're spending this time, like, carving through the track, getting big lengths of it, hammering all the rust out of it, oiling it down so that she can melt down the metal and salvage from it enough metal to make these scales.
And Adrex is enthusiastic about it all.
Adrex, you good with me melting down some of your gold to make healing potions?
Yeah, that's fine.
How are you making healing potions out of melted gold?
Ask the D&D player's handbook.
That sounds like a fascinating process.
And also, I'll pay for the armor.
Well, the armor's paid
knock off
for.
that
You gave her
50.
500 gold to buy some meat and furs and safe passage, essentially.
Okay.
And
So-
info.
Throughout this week, you guys can go ahead and take downtime for a week. If you guys have spell stones or potions you want to drink.
Birdie, you need what? Okay, I know this is like months ago, but Birdie, here's what I think you need to do. I think you need to acquire the spell Raise Dead, and then attempt to fix it.
Where
would
are
help
you
you with-
guys... Well, let's clarify this. Where is everybody staying over? Like, where are you guys sleeping for the nights? This is Fingernails' quarters here. Nedrick and Grixnart sleep in the bedrolls in the side chamber here.
Can we stay in here?
I think Red's gonna set up
Can we
a
camp out
bedroll
over
over
there?
here,
Okay.
sheltered from the wind, but still, and getting some warmth from the cavern. But he wants to be able to move in and out as he pleases, because he's going to do a lot of foraging for poison materials.
Okay, yeah, that sounds good. I think we can.
So is everybody going to hold up just right here?
Yeah.
Okay. I need 7 Constitution saving throws at advantage. DC is 16. I need these from Red, Adrex, and Birdie.
Okay.
Okay,
well,
first one failed.
So now my next question is, how do they not control me?
Did everybody pass the first one? Red failed.
First one failed for Red.
I passed.
Adrex passed.
Do we need to keep track of how many hit points you lose each time, or are we just going to assume that Razu's using her poultice?
Yeah, Raazu's going to be using her stuff to counteract this.
Okay, so let's just keep track of your max hit points aren't going to go anywhere until the 7th roll. Then
Second one failed for, what was the DC?
16.
Second one failed for Red.
Remember, you're rolling at advantage, and you do not get Razu's bonus for this.
Third one passes.
Adrex passes.
Fourth one fails.
Pass.
Fifth one fails.
Pass.
Fourth one
Sixth
failed.
one fails. And the seventh... The DC was what? 14?
16.
16. Seventh pass. Fails. One
Seven.
failure. One pass and 6 failures.
You failed 6 times on a saving throw you're rolling at advantage?
I don't have a constitution bonus.
Red, on the 7th failure, you lose 10 off your maximum hit points. Did Adrex or Birdie fail the 7th roll?
I failed. the seventh
Adrex
roll.
passed them all.
Alright. And Birdie, 10 maximum hit points. And that 7th day, throughout the whole week, everybody in the morning, almost every single day, Red wakes up and you guys are exhibiting the symptoms of this mummy rot. And every morning, Raazu is using her poultices
Okay.
to balm the disease.
Um,
And the 7th day, poor Birdie and Red both are showing these symptoms.
I mean, Adrex would ask the two of them, how do they not... If they're
Adrex?
living in mine, how are they not contracting mummy rot?
Like, okay, Birdie.
You're asking who? Wendy and Raazu?
No, the fingernails and bear guy.
Like, Birdie is going to go outside at one point and wash his armor in the snow.
Okay.
Just wash absolutely everything.
And she doesn't seem to know anything about mummy rot. She's asking... She seems concerned. She asks if you're contagious.
No, I'm not contagious because I'm not going to explode in a bundle of dust.
She says that she knows that there are dead things that live in the depths beneath the mines, and she knows that that's the path that you traveled to get here.
Yeah, we killed them, but they exploded and...
Double killed them.
Yeah.
I love how we just inspire so much confidence in the entities we meet.
Is Birdie doing any downtime stuff for these 7 days?
Right. In addition to washing my armor, I'm going to try and I'll try and learn Raise Dead so that I can then try and fix the Raise Dead stone.
Okay. Well, you got to draw me the rune.
Yep.
My wings are starting to grow back.
Getting there.
Yeah, if we just waited for the half plate, we'd have a lot more wings.
Yeah, I think it was 7 weeks. We
No,
got
it was
one.
close to a year.
7 months?
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
7.
7
It was
months.
7 months.
That's not how long it takes wings to grow back.
I looked it up.
Yeah.
It apparently is. If a
What?
bird loses all of its plumage in a fire.
That's a very specific website.
It was a very specific thing that happened.
It was science.com. It's like we don't ask the question
Listen.
for how they got the answers to these questions.
I asked Dr. Biologist.
Yeah. Hey, Dr. Bio.
Let me pull
I'm
up
trying
the-
to find where
Yeah, I'm not seeing a lot of stuff on our rune documentation. I thought we had a lot more.
I don't think I
It
ever
shared
put
the
that
same rune as Contagion.
one. Ooh, that's right, it did. Right. That's why I didn't put it in.
And where are you drawing this out at?
I'll just draw it in this gray area over here.
Okay.
As soon as I get the
Oh, we had to make a save when we were on the outside too. How this?
You guys have had to make a save at the end of every long rest.
Yeah. How is this happening? Adrex can't delve further into that because he's
wait.
busy destroying tracks.
Evil mummy shit.
You guys angered the mummies.
Yeah, whatever. They're fucking mummies.
Yeah, no, I'm really getting.
Is there
Hold
something
on.
you could ask, call up your god on, Raazu? She doesn't like the undead, right? I keep seeing you get real mad about undead.
Yeah, let me spend some time in meditation. AKA, let me check the player's handbook for spells at 1st or 2nd level.
You can't cast any spells.
I do have 2 magical boons from Osprey.
You do, yes. And you can also use downtime action to get more favors from Osprey.
There's
What
no
is-
there's no
what is red-
beaches to pray at right now.
What is Red doing during the downtime? Just making progress on making poisons?
Yeah, I think I'm just going to craft poisons unless there's anything else useful someone wants me to do. Or he has any clever runes.
And what's Windy doing during the downtime?
I was crafting potions.
Is this the entirety of the rune you're drawing?
No, it is not.
Should I go ahead and roll my poison making?
Yeah, go ahead and roll that up.
Speaking
Alright,
of
that's-
crafting potions, I've taken the liberty of just filling everyone up
Okay, that's
on the character sheet. If you don't want yours, just give them to someone else.
Okay, let me double
so I
check
made-
this is the right
So I
rune.
finished my truth serum I've been working on. Got another one of those.
Okay, so here's my theory. My ability removes the disease, but the problem is we've already removed the disease several times. My question, my thinking is maybe it's some kind of curse.
That's my thought.
Unfortunately, remove curse is a 3rd level spell.
Which I keep asking you guys to learn, and nobody ever wants to learn it.
Yeah, it's
That's
weird.
not entirely true. Adrex
It's weird
is
how none of
really
us have
busy
any
right now.
interest in that.
I just
Okay.
asked if there are any cool runes I should be learning from.
Yes,
didn't
there
Here's
use
the
those
are.
problem:
slots.
is none of us have the brain power to do it.
Birdie,
Let's.
Yeah.
that is the glyph for Raise Dead, so go ahead and make the check to learn it.
All right. That's a 15. That's a 10 plus 13, so that's a 23.
23.
Can you fail this check?
No.
He cannot.
So, Birdie, after intense study, you learn the spell Raise Dead. Here's the funny part.
What?
It has verbal, somatic, and material components.
I know, but I got it because I wanted to try and fix the spell stone.
You're going to try to repair the spellstone then.
Right.
So you can go ahead and add Raise Dead to your repertoire.
Mm-hmm.
If you ever get your tongue back, you can actually cast it with 5 blips. It's a level 5 spell.
Well,
Yep.
to be fair, if like one of us is dead, I think it'd be worth 5 flips.
Yeah.
That'd be a dick move. Like, yeah, I'd rather have the experience.
That's 50.
I mean, like at this point, like I'm starting to question about whether it'd be okay to resurrect Windy, but
Wait, what?
22.
Birdie.
yeah.
Examining the spellstone,
I gave you 2 healing potions.
you could think of 2 ways
Thank
that
you.
might repair it. The first would be to take it to a place that is a great wellspring of natural magic. Some of these places you've traveled in your journeys might be, for example, the dungeon that you guys fell into where you initially got your marks. The Red Dragon's dungeon where you saw all the dragon statues and the Great Pit. A place like that that's just a magical place of great focal power would be the place to do the work. Actually imbuing the stone with magic again in order to use it for its intended purpose, you think that could only be done through great personal sacrifice. Like, you as an individual would have to put something of yourself back into this stone. Make an Arcana check to figure out what that might be.
That's a 23.
23?
Mm-hmm.
Mechanically, it would be some kind of stat loss. Loss to 1 or more of your base stats, a permanent loss to your maximum hit points, something along those lines. This is no small feat trying to get this spellstone back in working condition. What really terrifies you is what put the stone in this state to begin with. And that you don't have a clue.
Could I make the sacrifice of somebody else?
No.
No? So I couldn't... Okay. Alright, just wondering.
And it would have to be specifically you because you know how the spell works. You have knowledge of how the spell functions and what it does.
Alright. I was just kind of wondering if I could feed it rabbits or something.
Hey, Raazu, do this thing for me.
Right.
Alright, so let's go down the list here. Birdie learned his spell. Adrex, go ahead and add a suit of scale mail armor. This is... It's strong enough. It's good. I mean, it's not the best materials in the world. It'll do what the book says it does, but it's not going to turn any heads. This is just a suit of functional armor.
That makes Adrex very happy.
It's not colorful. There's no adornments. It doesn't look particularly interesting, but it will turn a sword. Raazu, what you were going
How
to...
far away is the lake? The frozen lake?
It was about a good days from here. You marched for most of the day before you saw their campfire in the middle of the night.
Okay. Because my intention is I need like Raazu still doesn't know about the whole like how one goes to pray to Osprey, but it seemed to work pretty well going to a beach, so maybe the lake will do in lieu of that.
You are cautioned not to go alone. These are dangerous lands. The 3 of them never travel unless they're all together.
Okay.
Sorry, it's
not going to be. It's not going to be very exciting, but does anybody want to come with?
It might be.
Is crafting potions something I could do on the road?
It is, but more to the point is you guys will be rolling against random encounter tables.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't mind rolling. I'll go with you, Raazu.
And I need to collect some more components for this poison I'm working on anyway, so...
I'm really curious as to how you talk
cave
with
is
your
good.
god anyway.
Wait, so are all of you going on this trip then? This will be before Adrex's armor is done.
I'm assuming Adrex is using this entire downtime to break up the iron on the tracks.
Not necessarily, because you'll work for a few hours of the day, but you still have 8 hours of downtime to take your rest.
Oh, if that's the case, sorry, I've derailed this, but I would help Birdie with the remove curse rune.
I think what you need to do is just actually try and learn Curse.
Acquire the spell.
You're trained in spellcraft, not.
Can you draw me the glyph for remove curse?
I'm gonna try. This is gonna be fun. This is gonna be Adrex's first.
Wait, 1 second. Because Birdie's been sassing us for not learning remove curse. Birdie, do you know right now the glyph for remove curse?
I
He
can't
shared
answer
it.
that. I can't answer that because I can't speak because
You
nobody
can't draw
knows.
it?
Nobody
snow?
knows remove curse.
Draw it.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
right there.
That's right.
All right.
Did you put it in the chat or something?
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
Uh,
I'm waiting for my spreadsheet to load up so I can see if it's the correct glyph.
Just a straight line down.
I'll help
just
you out
a-
with it too, Birdie, if I don't need to make potions. Which I do for
That's-
this week. But
That's just a straight line down. All right. Oh, this, and is it really curved like that at the top?
Yeah, it's like a
That's-
shield.
That's not the right line.
I like this is exactly how Adrex is doing it too.
yeah.
Like that's not the straight line.
Look, to be fair, whoever cursed that potion is obviously. Who else would do that?
I mean, Raazu would have cursed it. She'd to get me to shut up, probably.
Raazi, do you
Absolutely
think that the
not.
reason why you can talk
There
to
we
your
go.
god at the pond is because they're just present a little bit everywhere, and that's why you can't go meet them? They're like spread out.
Birdie, if this looks right, give me a thumbs up.
I think it's close enough government work.
But we're not. There is no governments up here in the northern lands.
I am.
Adrex,
Yes.
you have drawn me the glyph for remove curse. Go ahead and make your check.
Good
What do I have
work,
to
buddy. 20.
Arcana check 20.
And you can burn gold for how much?
You know, are we in a place where we could reduce it? Like I think it's like 100 gold for -1 to DC or something like that.
You also have 7 tries at the check.
All right, that's
Yeah,
a
so
15, so that's no
And
good.
Burn a few tries.
Because
Yeah, you can
you
make those.
had the correct rune, you can make further checks at advantage.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I need a 15.
Oh yeah, just roll some dice.
2 8s.
Wait, but this is Adrex.
There it is.
There we go.
He's got it.
Can add remove curse to his repertoire.
Okay.
This also has
I'm gonna-
a verbal component. And it costs
But Adrix can speak.
3 blips to
blips.
cast.
Oh man, Adrix has got to burn 3. Birdie? Oh. I gotta think about it now.
That sounds like a great idea.
But Birdie can't tell him to do it, is the problem.
Well,
Listen,
I mean, I was
no,
thinking
like,
remove curse to remove this mummy rot bullshit.
Here's the
That's my
thing.
thought.
Here's the thing. You gotta ask yourself, what is more amusing, my sass or my describing the hand gesture?
Describing your cess?
Definitely describing, 100%. You shouldn't have even asked that question.
Alright. Alright, Birdie. I'm gonna try it. Close your eyes and brace yourself, because I have no idea what's gonna happen. But I think I got it.
He just
Alright?
slams me in the forehead and says, "Be healed."
He just shouts remove curse and slaps you in the face.
That's pretty much what Adrix was gonna do, yeah.
Okay. And Birdie, you feel like all of the moisture in your whole body kind of comes up through your esophagus and through your throat into your mouth. You start drooling profusely. You just start spitting on the ground all of this bile, this acidic, tinging taste. Until at the end of this, you're left with the worst case of cotton mouth you've ever had in your whole life. Like your tongue aches and cracks from the dryness of it.
Birdie spits his mouth out and
And at this point, you have nothing left to spit. There's just
Red will hand Birdie a water skin.
yeah.
And
I'll take a
Adrex
beetle
just
hole.
looks at Birdie and gets really close to his face, like expectantly.
And you guzzle this water skin greedily. And at first, it makes contact with the dryness the inside of your mouth and your tongue, and you feel a shock of pain at first. And it's hard to swallow that first gulp. And you guys watch as the water rolls over the side of his face and down and soaks into his clothes and his pouches. And he just empties the entire water skin, and he gasps when he comes up for air. And you hear Birdie's voice in the gasp.
The quick brown fox jumps over a lazy dog.
And then he starts talking some dumb shit about a fox.
Birdie starts dancing.
Don't make me regret this.
Is everybody else imagining him doing the Detective Pikachu dance?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was doing
Yes.
in my head.
Don't make me regret this.
Hey, Adrex, do you think that maybe got rid of the mummy rot too?
That's what I was. That's why I was saying. Remove the curse for the mummy.
Take a
rot.
good look, Doc.
Can I make a medicine check to see if,
Go ahead and make a
That
medicine
happened?
check.
or an Arcana check, maybe, because since that
Medicine.
would be medicine. That is a 14.
Doesn't seem to have any symptoms of mummy rot.
Like, I feel like every roll you make, the 20 is right here. Like, it's on one of these faces that is...
Yeah, you're right.
So, who's going on the excursion to the lake?
Red is.
I know that Windy and
Yeah, I'm
Raazu
going
are
as well.
right. Okay, so is it just the three of you?
I'll go if Adrex goes, because I'm hugging Adrex. Like, I've got it... I've got him... I'm just around his waist, just hugging him.
Adrix, if you go, you're going before your armor's completed.
Right. Why are you... sorry. Why are you going to the lake? You were...
Raazu's going to try to call up her god.
That is not a thing Adrex is interested in, the
Okay.
slightest.
So you and Birdie are staying behind.
Okay.
It's not a completely uneventful journey. You know the route because you've walked it twice now. And you have a couple of encounters. There's a lot of starving animals out here in the wastes.
I changed my mind.
It's too late to change your mind. They're already out there.
Can I go with them?
No.
All right.
You go down to the lake, and what is it Raazu's doing at the lake?
Raazu's gonna take a saw. She's gonna cut out like fairly large space around the edge of the lake, of the ice, and just kind of chip it out and drag it off so that there's at least a little bit of free moving water.
Okay. And the ice here is thick on this lake. I mean, it takes some doing to get the saw in there and work it through. First, you have to hammer a big spike to make a hole to fit the saw in.
Mm-hmm.
And be glad Adrex isn't doing this work because he would like Tom and Jerry himself into the lake. And now you have the hole in the ice and the
Yeah,
lake beneath.
and that's when Raazu would doff her armor. So 5 minutes to doff that armor.
Raazu, do
This
you
is
want
the
some
most-
meditation tips?
This is the most boring thing you've ever seen in your life.
We've seen Raazu doff her armor before.
Yeah.
We've seen Raazu like lather herself in psychedelic oatmeal before.
That's
that one
true.
was more interesting.
So what are you doing?
Meditation tips, you say?
Mm-hmm. Okay, so if people tell you like how to meditate, you might hear them say, "Oh, you have to empty your mind." That's wrong. Don't do that. What you have to do is be equally aware to everything that's around you. Because everything's trying to tell you something. Just listen to all of it a little bit, and it'll tell you how you can make use of it. Because everything wants to be used. I'm assuming, because we were working under the assumption here that your god is everywhere and can listen to everything, that if you listen to everything, maybe particularly the water, you'll be able to hear your god's voice.
Okay, so Raazu will kneel at the edge of the water, start listening to it.
Okay. Red, what are you doing during this time?
Just standing guard. He's also gonna, after hearing Wendy's contrived explanation, he's gonna kind of reach down, put on a glove, reach into the water, and I'm pretty sure this bit of seaweed particularly wants to be used as a catalyst to extract some of the potency of some of these plants I've found on the way.
You're not going to get
Shut up, Red.
seaweed
I'm
out
trying
of
to
a
think.
freshwater lake up in the mountains, but okay.
Well, whatever plant is growing.
Lakeweed.
Windy
Yeah,
and Red,
lakeweed.
give me a perception check.
What? So let's say 24.
13.
Windy, from the trees behind you had to kind of walk through this tree line to get out to the lake. So you're further on now than where the trio of hunters had their fire built when you came upon them. You become aware of a faint buzzing sound back behind you in the trees, and you recall hearing this sound before.
Uh-oh.
Raazu's ignoring this completely.
Raazu can't hear it because she's trying to listen to everything.
Does Wendy say "uh-oh" out loud?
And Windy will kind of draw Red's attention to it.
Oh, Red's daggers are already out as soon as you say "uh-oh."
Okay, Red, give me a second perception check for sight.
Yeah, that's another 14.
Now that Wendy's pointed it out, you think you can hear the faint buzzing sound, but you can't see the source of it.
Mhm.
But you also definitely remember hearing this buzzing sound before.
Yeah.
Let's go examine it.
I mean, my thought is move over next to Raazu and make sure that she's not interrupted in whatever she's doing. But
That's fair. I just thought maybe you could creep up and get a look on it. But I'll stay over here near Raazu.
Right, go ahead and give me a stealth check.
it's going to be a 23? Yes.
23?
Yeah.
As you get up to the tree, you hear the buzzing sound go silent as you approach the tree. And looking upwards, you can see one of those metallic dragonflies hidden high above you in the branches, motionless, parked on one of the branches.
And these things are really tiny, right?
They're tiny sized. Yeah, they're pretty small.
Yeah.
In fact, you guys captured one. I think kept it in a jar or a potion bottle or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How high up in the tree is it?
Maybe 10 feet or so.
Can I jump up and try and grab it?
I would allow a dexterity acrobatics check, an opposed check to see if you could grab it. Roll high.
No, it's a 17.
You leap up and try to grab this thing, but at the shock of your movement, it takes flight and zips away from the tree, off in the opposite direction.
Should have grabbed it with chopsticks.
So, Raazu, what is it you're actually doing to try to commune with Osprey?
Raazu is just she's trying to muddle through some of the things she's heard Yashinar say in regard to Osprey, like, you know, asking him from translations from Orcish to Common, and then just kind of fiddling that into a pigeon form of her own Hobgoblin language.
At disadvantage, make me a religion check.
Double nat 20. That's a 25.
Really?
Really, right here.
Raazu,
So you've got your armor doffed and all of your stuff
Yes.
sitting on the ice. As you're sitting there, trying to pay attention to anything, you become aware of a scratching sound next to you.
Mm-hmm.
And then, just barely too late, the sound of a splash as you realize your trident had slid forward into the water and splashed into the lake.
Dive in and grab it.
Dive into the freezing water and swim after it?
Yeah.
Okay, and you do so. And you swim down after it, and after a few moments, this is on into the evening, and the light fades from overhead as you go deep enough into the water. Mm-hmm. The lake itself, you have no idea how deep it is. But fortunately, after maybe 10 or 15 feet, not quite that far down, you reach down and you grab the edge of your trident. You hoist it back up into your hands.
I'm just going to go ahead and take a point of damage there.
When you look back up, you realize you don't know where the opening of the ice is above you now.
All right. Start swimming upward.
Okay. Which direction is upward?
That's a very good question. Survival check. Would that give me a good way to orient myself?
I'll let you roll the die if it makes you feel better.
Okay. 23 on survival.
23? You have no idea where the light is at this point. The sun has started to set. It's probably behind the tree line, and you guys didn't have a fire built up top. But you know the trident was pointed one way, and you were pointed the other way. So you try to swing yourself back around, and you start kicking in that direction. And after a few moments, when you thrust your arms up to stroke, the prongs of your trident hit the bottom of the ice. And when you reach up, you're feeling the solid ice sheet above you. You're not underneath your opening. You've drifted in some direction.
Use my trident, try and poke through the ice.
Okay. And what is your state of mind as you do this?
Just like, this is where...
I don't know if you stopped talking or if you cut out on me.
No. It's like Raazu would rear back to try and hit the ice. Then she looks. She thinks on it, and then just starts to, and then she starts to listen to everything around her underneath the water for a minute, as long as she can hold her breath.
Okay, and just silence, just the sounds of the water all around you. What's her emotional state like?
Starting to calm down. Focus a little bit.
And after a few moments of this, you realize you don't have the tool to cut the ice from down here. Banging it with your trident is probably... In fact, it's probably freezing it more, considering what the trident is.
Yeah.
And you realize, after a few more moments, that you're reaching the end of what your breath will give out. Make me a Constitution saving throw. You can apply your Paladin bonus to this.
17?
17.
Yep.
Red and Windy. By the time you realize that the dragonfly is gone, Windy, you hear the splashes after just a moment. The trident goes in the water, and then you see Raazu dives in after it. After a few moments, Red comes back. I lost the dragonfly, and Windy's like, I lost the hobgoblin.
So do you think drowning is just a regular part of that religion?
I mean, can Raazu drown? You've seen her skin. It kind of already all burst. To be honest, I'm not too sure she breathes.
I'll walk over to the hole in the ice and kind of stick my head in, take a good long look.
Poke your head down into the ice?
Yep.
You don't see Raazu anywhere.
Well, she's outside of the 60 feet I can see down there.
Do you think maybe it's that Raazu spread out so much that we can't contact her?
So
Like
you
her god.
said she's like her god now. She's just sort of everywhere.
Well, yeah, for a little while.
Raazu, are you continuing
you
to
think if
strike
someone
the
tries
ice?
to punch...
with
Oh,
your-
okay,
Yes.
I've got an idea, Wendy. Try and punch me, and we'll see if some, bit of Raazu's presence stops you.
Are you continuing to hit the ice with your trident?
Yes.
Maybe the sand's out under your...
Raazu, you start feeling some give as you strike with the trident repeatedly, but you realize you're not chipping away the ice. It's not drifting down into your face. What's giving isn't the ice, but the trident. You think the trident itself has started to crack and break and bend under the strength of your blows. And at this point, your lungs are just screaming out for oxygen.